What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, we got to look at the Game Award nominees. They were announced today. I got a few things to say about a couple of different categories, but we're going to kind of do this semi-live, obviously video recorded, but I'm going to go over all the categories that I care about, okay? The esports and content creators. Honestly, I don't care, and I just don't think that's right to you to talk about something that I just truly have absolutely no interest in. So we're going to go over the ones that I care about, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to predict the actual winner. Now, it's their winner. It is not my winner. I want to make that crystal clear. Towards the end of the year, end of December, I'm going to do my own Game Awards. I'm not saying it's better production value. It's not. I don't have any world reveals, but I'm going to do my own categories, my own nominations and winners, and hopefully you guys will stop by. I did it as a live stream last year. Going to do it again this year. But let's go through it. Let's see what the critics will say is their choice for each of these categories. Okay, so we're going to start from the bottom here. And I don't care about these four, all right? So these four don't count. We're going to start with most anticipated game. Now, just really quick, I did a whole live stream predicting the actual nominations. I did that this past Friday. I was really close. I got to just pat myself on the back. I was trying to pick what they would say. And, if you're specifically looking at this one, Metroid Prime, I think, was the only one I didn't put as these five. So I just want to, if you want to go back and check me, I think I was actually pretty accurate. All right, in terms of what they pick, I think it's got to be Grand Theft Auto, right? Like, Ghost is a pretty critically acclaimed, and Death Stranding has Hideo Kojima and stuff, and Monster Hunters. I mean, these are all good. This is a good list, but how do you not give it to GTA, right? Like, a year GTA is coming out. How do you not say that? I'm not saying if I agree, if I would do that myself, you'll find out, but I do think GTA. Okay, this one I think is hilarious because I actually did think they would do Yakuza. This show is atrocious. I did a review on Podcast Now Plus. I hate this show. So, no chance in hell that gets in. Okay, well, of this group, and I feel like Arcane, I haven't watched it. So I think critically it's got to be between these, right? I feel like with the Hollywood budget and and Todd Howard and all that, I feel like they would say Fallout. Now, Fallout's mine, okay, because I just didn't watch many of these. But so Fallout is tremendous. That was a great show. But Arcane, everybody loves. So really 50-50, but I'll say that they're going to say Fallout, okay? Next one up, best multiplayer. This one I think I was kind of off on. I think I got all of these except for maybe Super Mario Party. So best multiplayer, COD, Helldivers, Mario, Tekken, Warhammer. I think it's going to go Helldivers. Helldivers makes sense. Space Marine is more like a well-rounded game. I think that they would say, right? Helldivers, more obviously just multiplayer. COD's tough because COD was like a return to form this year, right? That people say. So, and I enjoyed it, but I don't know. I don't have like the highest benchmark or bar for COD. Again, if we're going based off them, which we are, I think it's going to be, I got to go with my gut with these things. I'm going to say Helldivers. Okay, next. We got a lot of these. So, okay, we're not going to do, well, let's do it really fast. No, you know what? We're not going to do it. There's nothing. Where's the, I was going to say, where's the racing games? I guess there's one and everything. Top Spin. Oh my God. Okay, next. Best sim/strategy. This one was tough because I couldn't think of anything myself, I think, when I came up with this. Unicorn Overlord. See, like I wanted to play Manor Lords. My Xbox Link thing on PC is actually broken. I looked it up. It's like a terrible error code that I got. So I would have to buy it. I don't actually have Game Pass on PC, even though I pay for it, which is fun. But so I tried to play Manor Lords and I couldn't. I don't know. I actually did like Age of Mythology, but again, we're going based off them. Unicorn Overlord kind of came out and did super well compared to the rest of these. Yeah, you know what? In terms of them, I think they'll pick that. Unicorn Overlord for best sim/strategy. Best family. Oh, this one's tough. Wow, look at how Mario... Was this deserved? This is one I was probably pretty off on, maybe. Like, Plucky Squire, really good. Okay, I would say Astro, right? That's me. I think they would have to, too. You look at, Metacritic, right? Like, you see what they gave the scores to. And, this got middling. This was, probably, above average, right? And this is probably above average. Plucky Squire was also, probably, a surprise. Oh, it's really good. But Astrobot, I feel like they'd have to... I do think Nintendo is going to pull something out that it probably... Honestly, Nintendo, these are fine games. Nintendo did not have, the most spectacular, Game of the Year type year. You know what I mean? So, these three... This is a lot of Nintendo this year, right? For this. And maybe it just the amount. Like there's 3 of 5 as Nintendo, so you have a high shot that you're gonna win. But I feel like Astro's gonna sweep a couple categories. So I'll say Astro. Best fighting. Multiverses, that's hilarious. Grand Blue, that's also hilarious. I predicted most of these. I actually think I said Marvel vs. Capcom. All right. Critically. See, critically, I feel like it would be Tekken. I think Dragon Ball is just a little. I think if they were to like rank these, it would be like Tekken then Dragon Ball. Mine would be Dragon Ball, okay? But them, maybe theirs would also be Dragon Ball. But I feel like the opinions on Dragon Ball from critics was kind of split, whereas Tekken was kind of universal. Again, like you gotta remember what they were like saying when it came out, right? Like Tekken was like everybody liked it. Dragon Ball was kind of split. So many people around this panel, all these game journalists, I feel like they're going to go with the one that they were kind of more unanimous on, right? Dragon Ball probably had higher highs than Tekken, but maybe lower lows. So I'll say Tekken for that one. Okay, best RPG. This is one I think I got pretty close as well. This one's tough. Actually, I'm kind of happy. And like it doesn't really matter that Yakuza's there. Dragon's Dogma, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy. Okay, so... Oh boy. All right. Here's my opinion, just really quickly on the. I'm sure this is gonna come back up. The Shadow of the Erdtree thing. I am not a fan. I'm fine with remakes being part of these. Because they are so. Sometimes they're drastically different. Sometimes they're also. Even if they're not drastic, like Dead Space is not enormous. Even though he talks, not drastically different, but it is very much different. It is a game. It is a game, and I don't know. It's like a new era type thing. Specifically, Final Fantasy. Like this is totally a different game than 97 or whatever, right? So I'm okay with that. DLCs, even though this basically is a game on its own, it is a DLC. That's what it's clarified as, and those should have its own category. There should just be a DLC category and a remaster if you want to do remasters. Remasters and DLCs should never be a part of this. So, out of principle, I would never do this. In terms of what they would say, so, I mean, okay, Final Fantasy would have had it until this came out, I think. But at the same time, now that you're including this, it's really a three-way race. I do think Metaphor would beat Final Fantasy in most of like these type of categories. So, I mean, it's tough. In terms of the journalists, I'd say Metaphor or Elden Ring. Hopefully they feel pressure not to do this because I just think this is silly. So I'll say Metaphor. I do think Elden Ring is going to win one of these, and it's going to be kind of laughable. At least to me. That's my opinion. I do not like that at all. Actually, you want to know what else is laughable? Is this one right here. Best action adventure. And this is, if you like the game, great. Best action adventure. There's no way that these are the... Action adventure in Silent Hill 2 is here. I didn't even think of that. I only looked at... Oh my God. I only looked at Star Wars Outlaws for action adventure. And I thought this was a really bad decision to put this as one of the 5. This is a horror game, guys. Do we not know that? Action adventure. Do you classify Silent Hill as action adventure? I don't know. Okay, well, best action adventure. What would they pick? God, it better not be Outlaws. I think, honestly, it'd be between these two. And I don't know. I do like other games getting it. So, like, I would almost, for best, combining combat with traversal and puzzle solve. Okay, here's the thing. If you're literally going by this definition, right? Combat. So, Silent Hill, it's got a very unique combat that I do like, but absolutely not. Absolutely not. Maybe. Here's the thing. Puzzle solving. Astrobot is a platformer. Or platformers, puzzles in it of itself, like in the brain, maybe. I think by definition... Prince of Persia is the best one. That's my opinion. I think by definition, these two shouldn't even be here. And then this would... that's it. I don't even know what to say about that one. That's kind of funny. Well, not really. Come on, screen load. Best action game. It just wants to disappoint me. Black Myth, COD. Okay, this one's better. This one I think I predicted almost... I didn't think I predicted this. Black Ops... Or Black Myth, Stellar Blade... Space Marine, those and Helldivers, those make sense. Oh boy, this one's tough because mine would probably be Stellar Blade. I like Stellar Blade just a little bit more than Black Myth, and I like these two quite a bit. Best game on combat. I think critics I think critics would do Helldivers or Black Myth. And Black Myth, but now, okay, now you think, right? What were the reactions when the games came out? I think Helldivers was higher. So, and Space Marine. I think Helldivers. I think they'll pick Helldivers. That one's tough. That one's a tough one. Best, I don't really care about this one, but, I hear so many great things. So, Arkham Shadow. Skip. Best mobile game. Again, don't really play it. But I saw so many people play Balatro. I hope that's how you say it. I think this was nominated for Game of the Year, and I watched people play. It looks really good, so I'm glad that they got nominated. Don't really care, though. Best debut indie game. Oh, boy. I think this would probably win that, too. Or Animal Well. I've played Animal Well. I told you the Manor Lord. I did play Plucky Squire. Haven't played. I watched this, but I didn't play it. So these two. Yeah, this one's tough. Maybe one of these. Maybe we'll break from it because maybe this wins best mobile game or something, right? And if they want to split the vote, I'll say Animal Well that they'll pick. I think that's fair. Like these three are good, but I think these two are the ones that they would go for. Best indie. I never understand the difference. I guess the other one is like their first game. Same. Honestly, somebody in my chat on Friday keeps mentioning this game, so it's funny that made it. I don't know. Again, one of these ones, I don't know because they're so close to each other. Whichever won the other one will win this one. We'll say that. How's that? Best community support. Okay, so let's read the definition. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates. Okay. I don't know how you actually can give it to Helldivers because and it's not necessarily their fault, but because of the Steam stuff with the logins, I don't actually think you could get. I mean, okay, I'll just jump to the best community support. Man, critics do love the No Man's Sky comeback, which I think is also kind of cool, by the way. I think it's No Man's Sky or Baldur's Gate. So from them, what would win from them? I'll say No Man's Sky. I just can't see how you give it to this. Fortnite's Fortnite. Final Fantasy, I feel like, didn't they have kind of like a down year? So, and this is kind of wrapping up. So I feel like No Man's Sky. Let's see ongoing. Yeah, here we go. Best ongoing. Destiny 2. I feel like there's so many split things. And now, again, like, do I really care? No. I feel like it kind of has to be either Fortnite or Diablo. Maybe Fortnite gets this one for some reason, but yet again, because Diablo did that huge DLC, right? So I don't know. Critics. Do critics like Fortnite? I'll say, my gut tells me Fortnite. So I'll go with Fortnite. Games for impact for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Okay. I can't give it. I mean, like, I understand this, and I mean, as you guys know from the channel, me covering Life is Strange show, I could never. I didn't play it, but I actually think this will win. Indica. Never heard of it. Like, thought-provoking game. I don't know. I don't think it left the impact. And I mean, this one is like a critical darling. So you know what? Let me take it back. This one's gonna win. I don't really know anything about this game. It was never all that interesting to me, but I know some people on the internet are very anti this game. I have nothing against it, but nothing for it. I do know that critics, so I think this. Actually, yeah. This one, I want to play this, by the way, but I'll say this. Okay. Accessibility. See, I don't take advantage of the accessibility. I imagine, man, that's tough. I mean, like EA, like BioWare's pretty good with it, so maybe. Okay, this one I'm both pleased and absolutely disgusted with. So number one, well, let's just kind of go down the line, right? I think she deserved it, right? I predicted her, Hannah. I did these 4, okay? Now, I did 6 because I had both the characters for Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden, which is what I'm disgusted at, okay? Those 2, I think maybe did better than any of these. I don't know if I would give them the award especially because it's two of them and they needed each other. But I do think that those two, Antea and Red in Banishers, I think they should be here, okay? I do think these four deserve... I mean, I have nothing against her whatsoever. How you put her for in Star Wars, I don't know how you... For K-Vest, how do you do that? How do you actually look at yourself? I think actually Britt Baron... Tifa, I think she should have been here as well. Like, I would have had a totally... I mean, I get him. Oh, so, I mean, I don't know. This is just kind of a rant. Like, I'm pretty upset, that she made it. Because I just feel, not against her, but I feel like there's easily 3 off the top, both of the Banishers, and then Tifa. Easily beats her. And then we can have a discussion, I think, about these two. I didn't think Hannah would make it, so I do want to just say... My vote is probably okay, and in terms of like who wins, I think Aerith. So I think Brianna wins. I think she wins from them. I would have a tough choice between these two, to be honest with you. These two would be mine. So I don't really, if either of them wins, I guess it's fine. But that one upsets me greatly. Best audio, I guess, upsets me as much as the internet can't upset a person that is not obsessed. Best audio design, recognizing the best in-game audio and sound. So sound, okay. So this isn't just soundtrack and music. This is specifically in-game. This is where I think Silent Hill should take it. It's why I don't think it should have been in horror, because I think it makes a lot of sense to show up here. So for me, it's kind of between Astro and Silent Hill. Final Fantasy, and like Hellblade has very unique sound design. But then just in terms of like how much I love it, right? Maybe like these 3. But again, this is them. So best, what would they say? I feel like this is, because there's no way this wins best action adventure, right? I mean, if this wins, I riot. So there's no way that wins that. So then you're the critics and you're choosing. You say, okay, well, Silent Hill is nominated for that. It didn't win. Let's give it to, you know what I mean? I think it's either going to be Astro or Silent Hill. I'll say Silent Hill just to kind of go a little off the score here. Best score in music. This one's tough. I love the soundtrack to Silent Hill, but this is going to be the first one that I think I'd eliminate. I know people really like Astro. I'd eliminate that too. I think Final Fantasy is going to win this one from them. I don't think Stellar Blade maybe wins any. By the way, in terms of like snubs, I think Stellar Blade might be the snub candidate of the year, by the way. Just throwing it out there. So I'll say Final Fantasy. Art direction. Artistic design and animation. Okay. This should be... Here's what I'm going to say. Okay, I know how this is going to go. It should be Metaphor or Astro. It's going to be Elden Ring. This is where Elden Ring will win it. That's it. That's all. That's what's going to happen. Narrative. I really thought this was one of the weakest stories in all of the Yakuza games. Having played many, many, many of them, I think this was one of the weakest ones of the entire series. So it's hilarious that that's there. Okay, here's where I stand. Again, like I told you about remakes, right? So the one thing I would probably not do with a remake story is have it win for a story, right? Because the story of Silent Hill 2 specifically was rather untouched. The story of 7 Rebirth was touched, right? So this is not the story necessarily. It could be later, but it's not, of the original 7, right? It's altered enough that I think it makes sense. This is generally the exact same thing. So you're giving a game from 2001 the best narrative of 2024. Don't think that's fair. That's out. This is out. This is out. This is out of principle, I think, for me. I feel like they'd have to give it to Metaphor, right? Critics. It's either Final Fantasy or Metaphor, and I think Metaphor takes it. Best game direction. Outstanding. Okay, so this, I remember predicting this. I think I got almost all of these except for this one. So this is like a well-rounded game, right? It doesn't necessarily, it's just well-rounded. Vision and innovation. Yeah. Game direction and design. Okay, hot take. So this is like one of my 2 favorite games of the year, by the way. All right? I'll do a whole listing of it. This is an unbalanced game. This is a game that has a lot of bloat, a lot of open world bloatiness, right? Things that you just too repetitive, things like that. This shouldn't win. Because this is what we don't want in newer games is like the 50 hours, but 30 hours is repetitive. Now, it's not that bad. I'm exaggerating a bit, but that is in this game. So I would take that out. This is very straightforward. You know what I mean? So like compared, but for everything, this was so unique. I feel like this almost should win. Just because of how like cool and meshing or combining different genres and like an actual game, right? You know what I mean? So I feel like this is kind of winning me over. This I just really hope doesn't win. How? Because Elden Ring already won some of these, right? So it's like, I mean, I would probably go Metaphor or Astro for well-rounded. Again, you think about well-rounded games. This kind of it hopefully can bring platformers back, right? So like maybe that helps it out. But what would critics say? I'll say Astro. I feel like critics would pick Astro. I don't know. Again, like well-rounded. This shouldn't even be here, I think. And then well-rounded, it's like these two. You know, Black Myth is really good. I don't know if it's the most well-rounded compared to these. No, this is really good too. I just feel like this is playing with such like big boys, quote unquote, which doesn't really matter, but it might. And then Game of the Year. Is this the exact same? Astro, Balatro, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy. I think this is right. Yep. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Oh, so okay. Well, so what's the difference, really? The Game of the Year. Okay, it can't be. It cannot be, right? We're not gonna do that. Also, for as much as I like a nice indie redemption, I have a redemption like kind of come from behind thing. I don't think this should get it either. Game of the Year, man. I mean, like these three would be, you know, when I do my listing, you're gonna see these three quite high on mine, right? I'll tell you this. There's no way critics give it to Black Myth. No chance. No chance. It's either one of these three. And I feel like, now, in terms of scores, they all got, I think, like, maybe Metaphor got 1 point higher, and maybe, like, Final Fantasy and Astro matched, or maybe reversed. Like, those three got 93s and 94s, right? 1, 2, 3. So even critically, when they first came out, they were, like, the same. They were, like, you know what I mean? Then it's the genre. And then you say, okay, well, which of these two? And then you maybe bash it with Astro. I think they're going to give it to Metaphor. Actually, if I really want to go controversial, I would say I think they're going to give it to Elden. I think Elden Ring. So Elden Ring is I think what? Game of the Year, game direction, and what, like sound design or something? Art design, right? So that's 3. So so Elden Ring got nominated for 3 things. I think it shouldn't win any. I think it's going to win 2 of the 3. That's my prediction. I think Elden Ring is nominated for 3 things. It'll win 2. It should not win this. So I guess maybe it changed my prediction for those other 2. Maybe Elden Ring sweeps those. Sweep. I'm using it in the wrong context, but yeah, I just don't think it can win that. So I'll say Metaphor. I don't see them giving it to Astrobot. Maybe there's like the PlayStation loyalty kind of. Is that a conspiracy theory? I don't know. I feel like Metaphor. All right, so is that it? I think that's it. Boy, oh boy, guys. So there you go. I really actually enjoyed doing it this way. Hopefully you guys did too. More like rambling, but hopefully entertaining. So, well, I'll be watching it live with you. We'll see what wins. I should probably write these down so I could like track if I was right or wrong. But remember, I co-stream these every year, so you can watch them live with me when they come. And starting a couple days from now, I'm gonna start doing predictions. Games that I think will be there, won't be there. We'll start to do that, and we'll go from there. Okay, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.